That was so weird. I tried to log in with mine, like my Gen account, and it was like the host ended the meeting already. So then
I started it and then I was like, did I press the right button? So I closed it and started it again. I remember what it was.
So I probably just missed it.
Yeah. Okay. Rohit. Admit. Okay, we're connecting. Are we there?
Yes.
Yay!
Finally.
Good job. We have you back. Okay, perfect. Agnes coming in. Professor Lito's just coming in now.
Okay. Sure.
Hello.
Come here. Come.
Hello.
Yeah. Come.
Sorry about that. I didn't realize that was the old link.
Yeah, I think it's the same link. I didn't realize either.
So I wasn't sure if you were sending out a new link or not. So
yeah, I thought I had sent one in the WhatsApp, but I think it is the same link every week apparently. So
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't have the WhatsApp. That's probably why.
Oh shoot! I'm so sorry. Yeah, good point. We had some technical difficulties this morning as well. Maui's parents are having a hard time logging in with their camera, and Rohit's sound was off, so it's been a bit of a slower morning today. So Sunday, second week of January, everything's going wrong already.
Yep. Find it. Yes, good.
I may have to pop when you guys are doing some stuff. I may have to pop into the garden to let Miss out for a pee because she didn't go before class. Hey, pain in the bum, not peeing before class. All right, well, we'll get started anyway. I think Maui's on the way back in. The thing I don't have is a clock with me. So today's class is going to be mostly about socialization, and we're going to talk about some of that and do some practice of things. So if you guys do have like clippers, or if you have a t-shirt, I've actually grabbed a baseball cap as well that I'm going to try and put on her head. Just get them used to those things that some sort of like novel things that might be happening to them, and sort of do it in a more kind of positive, sort of happy way for them. So we'll talk about that a little bit more later on. Jen, did we lose you?
I'm here. I'm just muted and not showing my face.
Okay, cool. There we go.
But I'm here.
We got more technical problems. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do a little bit of a review of what we did last week. So we'll do a review of that sit, that down, make it a little bit harder. We'll go through what we call a puppy push-up. So we'll put some things together, and then we'll do a review of that touch, maybe add some movement to that in a fun kind of way. Then we'll go to socialization, and then maybe we'll go more into that on your place. So the first thing, just to get your dogs thinking, if you have your pup there, if we can get them to practice a couple of those sits, do a few sit and a few down, maybe 3 sit with a lure in your hand. Oh, I'll just add one more, and then 3 downs with a lure in your hand. And then what I want you to try and do, and just as a reminder what that looks like, just you guys can see. I'm gonna have a lure, and we're gonna put it up. Yes. And don't forget your marker word when that butt falls to the ground, and for those downs. Yes. So we'll just do some practice of that. Just do sort of 3 of those with no words and a lure. Yes. Good job, Lito. You're ahead of the game. Yes. Good job, Cinnamon. I don't want to get up.
Are we doing the hand touch too?
Just for now, we'll just do sitting down for now, with just to get them warmed up, get them practicing a couple of those movements. Once you've done kind of 3 sit, 3 down with a lure in your hand, go ahead and do 3 with no lure. So empty palm, but we reward with the other hand. So what that will look like is I'm going to take my little snack, put it in behind my back, and then I'm going to get Gypsy up. I'm going to ask for that sit. Yes. and I'm going to reward that way. So this is my signal hand, and my reward comes with the other hand.
Okay.
And with the down, it would be a very similar. So empty hand, down, yes. And again, adding that yes when either the belly hits the falls to the ground or the bum falls to the ground. So making sure we're adding in that marker word as well, so they know they're doing the right thing. It's just getting them warmed up and thinking.
Yes.
Good job.
Maui is huge. Oh my god.
I know.
Like he's
Glowing.
huge.
Or like a weed.
The big potato.
Good job. How's it been this week trying to not say the word? I know it's super tricky.
It's okay. It's been going.
Good.
It was working fine.
Sorry, it's working good. Good.
Yeah.
It's just it falls out so easily. Just that word, that sit, that down, just falls out so easily normally. So just trying to do it without it can be a bit tricky. So.
Well, I was telling Chris because he was saying the word and he was listening, and I said, well, try not saying and just use the hand, and
Yeah.
that would work, right? So you have another thing to go to, like you said.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Does help for sure. All right. So once you've done that, actually, we will now for this week, we can go back and add that word. The way I would do it, and this is kind of the same for, excuse you, if I'm adding a new cue for anything, so if I want to change my cue to pretend that my dog speaks another language even, I could do that. The sort of order of things would be my new cue, then my old cue, and then the behavior, and then I mark and reward, and then slowly you drop out that old cue. So what I'm going to do when I'm adding a verbal cue, I'm going to say the word sit, and then I will show my hand signal, and then the behavior, and then I reward. I would do that sort of a few times: sit, show, behavior happens, reward, mark and reward, and then say that word sit. If it happens without you having to show your hand signal, we say yes and we reward anyway. So we give him that chance to kind of think about it. So what that's going to look like, and we'll do a couple of these. If I can get her up, she's very tired today. That's being really good. I'm gonna say sit. Yes. If she had not sat, I'll try that again. I'm gonna try and get my hand signal in before she does it. Sit. Yes. So I'm gonna just give my hand signal. My verbal comes first, then the hand signal, and then the behavior happens. So for a down, down. Yes. And again, I'm marking and rewarding when it does happen.
Come here.
Does that kind of make sense? So maybe just do a few of those, say the word, hand signal, and then behavior happens and mark and reward. We're doing it on your place, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Sit. Well, now he's lying down, so.
Come on.
Yeah, so that's something we're going to do actually in a moment, although everyone's sort of ahead of the game. Going from a sit to a down is a little bit trickier for them normally.
Sit.
Yeah.
And sit.
Down.
Yes.
So what if he doesn't go down without just the verbal?
So if you say down, what you're going to do is just going to say down,
Yeah.
and then you're going to show him what you mean.
Oh.
So down.
Now he went. Yes.
Good job. So the way I like to think about it a little bit is if I'm learning another language, so if I'm learning Spanish, for example, I don't walk, like when they're telling me what that means, they would say, hello is hola. And then I would know that my language, we speak, hola is hello. So that would be, the new language, and then you tell them what that meant, kind of thing. So
Yeah, okay.
like translating is kind of how I think about it in my head. We'll find it.
Yes.
And this would be similar if you wanted to pretend that your dog speaks another language. It would be again that same idea of old cue, new cue, behavior, mark and reward. So if I wanted to pretend that Gypsy spoke Spanish, I would say, Gypsy, siéntate, sit.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Sit.
Sit. Sit.
Yeah.
Sit. Yes.
Find it.
Boy, Lido. Good boy.
Perfect. Once we've done a couple of those, do if you've done your sits and your down, do a little find it break, like 2 or 3 find it.
Find it.
Find it.
And if it helps Maori to move that place out of the way so he can focus a bit easier, that's fine too.
Hey, good boy.
If he ever gets off his
Find
plate.
Come, yo.
Find it.
Good boy. Yes.
Yo. Come.
Good.
Good.
Perfect.
Sit.
Yes.
No.
Down.
Out from there.
Something else I wanted to ask you, actually, I've just had a thought. Have you guys been mostly doing your down from a sit?
Yes.
So for this week, what I'm also going to get you to try and practice is going to straight to a down from a stand. Because what our puppies learn in snapshots and pictures. And so if they always learn that a sit precedes a down, then that's going to be the sort of the behavior chain that they sort of develop. We want to teach them that a down means down on its own as well. So having them go from, and we're going to learn, oh, I didn't write it on my thing. We're going to learn a stand today too, like getting them to stand up. And that can help to sort of break up that picture so that they learn that a sit means sit on its own, down means down on its own, and stand is stand on its own. So we'll do the stand in a minute too, but that's to practice going from standing up to laying down. Hand signals is exactly the same. Let's see if Dipsy normally defaults to a sit first.
Yes.
I'm gonna help her out with this.
Look, Lido. Yes.
You may drop back if your pup's having a hard time with it. I would drop back to lowering it down from a standing position to a down. If they're doing it well, if once they can do that, again, it's the same progression of a lure first, just hand on the end of the nose. Oh, you can't really see this because the screen's funny. And Dipsy has a hard time without a lure with this one. Ready? Found it.
What?
Yeah. Good.
Yes. Yes. He's been doing lay down by itself, like from the start of lay down.
Maddie, come here. Down.
Sit.
Sorry, say that again.
We've been doing like lay down by himself, like from the start of lay down. So maybe we can introduce a couple of other things.
Yeah, for sure. You mean you've been doing lay down? He knows like he can lay down from a stand as well.
From a stand, yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
perfect. I just wanted to make sure everyone was doing that as well, not always going to a sit to a down, because it is a different picture for them. So yeah, Lito's got that really well. That's perfect.
Yeah.
All right, so while everyone is doing that, let's do everyone seems like they're pretty, all of us seem like they're pretty focused right now. So we'll keep going. We'll do.
Sorry, I just noticed that Maui, whenever he is standing, like if I try to move him spots, he'll immediately sit down. So I go down.
Yeah.
Down. So he always goes, he puts his butt down first. Yes.
And that could be because if you've been practicing that sit to a down, he's learning in a chain. That's fine too, as long as he is getting to that down. If he ever just drops and you just notice him just drop into it right away, I would jackpot. So give him, oh yes, 1, 2 treats. So just figure that out.
Okay.
But that down like that, as long as he's going down right now, we'll just take it as that for now and then just keep practicing it.
He like slides into it.
I'm gonna get this way. This is how I get into it, right?
Like after sitting, then she goes down.
Sorry, say that again, Rohit?
Even with Cinnamon, she's like, first she sits, then she goes down.
And that's kind of what we're gonna try and sort of break that up a little bit. We're gonna do a stand in a second. I just want to go through puppy push up and a review of touch. So that we can help to break that up by asking for different things as well, kind of thing. So which we'll do a puppy push-up right now. So you guys, I already saw Lito do it and I saw Maui do it. I'm sure Cinnamon was doing it too, but I just didn't catch it. Yeah. A puppy push-up is a full sit to a full sit to a down to a back up to a sit. And going back up to a sit can be quite tricky. So again, we want to move, if we're doing a hand signal, we want to move our hand very, very slowly. Ideally, what we're going to aim to work towards is that reward comes at the very end of the full push up, the sit down sit. While we're learning, you may need to reward the sit down and then the sit again. But if you could even get the sit and then the down in one, well, our puppies are learning that they don't always have that. Sometimes what we're asking them to do is a bit more complicated. They're not going to get a reward after every single move. They're learning that sometimes there's a couple of moves that happen and then the reward comes. And so in that case, when I'm doing it, I'm not going to say my yes word until I'm about to give the treat. So if I'm expecting a sit, down, sit, I'm going to say yes at the very end of all of that. When I'm starting off and I'm just practicing, if I'm having a hard time doing that, I might say sit, down, yes, and then reward, and then go back to a sit. I know.
I got more treats.
I'm sorry? Need more treats. So what I would do to start off with is I would maybe lure. If you're trying to do all three in one, I would maybe have a lure. Going back up to a sit is quite tricky from a down, so I would often have a lure to help them out with that, and just move my hand really, really slowly. Yeah. So a full puppy push-up looks like this. Yes. Yes. And my yes comes at the end, and the reward comes at the end. To start with, again, I would maybe drop that word and just use your hand signals. So we're going to go sit, down. Oh. Yes. And it just falls out my mouth really easy.
Yeah, I think she goes sit, down, she sits again. Then she doesn't stand.
Okay, let me see.
Come this way, Molly.
Okay, Cinnamon, here. Here. Come. Come here. Okay.
She's like, I don't want to be on screen, Dad.
Yeah,
I can't do it.
exactly. Actually, today Joy is not here around, so she's
she's like-
sad right now. So she's not in that mode to kind of have that playful vibe.
Well, this is good because this will be good for you guys to be working together then.
Yeah.
Good. And then back to a sit.
Up.
So I would put your hand right on her nose and move it up really, really slowly.
Oh.
To go back to a sit.
Okay.
So on her nose and then just really slow. Yes.
Huh?
So she's almost following that treat up. If you have a treat in your hand, so she can follow it all the way up with her nose. And it is a little bit tricky. Sometimes wiggling your fingers too to get that exciting. And let's go this way.
If I have a treat in hand, then she definitely do it. Yep. Then she knows it's there. Up, 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 up. Up, up, up.
Yes, and then just waiting her out too. Often if you put your hand up and then just wait, give a little wiggle, that can encourage them to be like, okay, fine, I'll go up. Yeah. And then if you need a lure to get her to do that, I would go ahead and do it with a lure a few times so that she really gets the hang of it. And then drop the lure out of your hand. Yes, good job. There you go. Good job, Cinnamon. Hey, good job, Lito.
So she does that even without a treat if Joy is there. If I'm doing it, then it's like the practice is still going on right now.
It's a different picture. It's a whole different picture with you. You're like, well, you're the play guy. He's the treat guy. So
exactly.
You just go at the pace of where you and your pup are at. So if it is, that you need to start back at the luring and take a step back, you will get to that point too if we're consistent with it. All right, let's have a little play break. Lito's already broken into it. So if you have a toy, have a little bit of a play break. I'm just going to go and grab some sort of time telling device.
Go get your chicken. Go get it. Go get it. Go get it.
No.
Get it.
Yeah.
Oh, Gypsy heard a squeak.
Come on. Like, where is it?
What's that? Whose squeak is it? Perfect. And we seem to have lost your Cinnamon.
He's very sad right now.
Hi.
Come, Cinnamon. Yo. She's sniffing the room door. She's trying to find Joy.
Oh, she's like, but it's school time. Where's my other teacher?
Yeah. Come on. Yeah. Come.
All right, so we'll just do a quick thing, give a little bit of a break.
Yeah, find it. Go,
Good.
find it. Yes. Yo, find it.
Once we get Cinnamon back, we can do our next little thing.
Yo, find it. Good. Yes. Find it. Yes. Good.
Good job. All right, so we're going to review that touch again this week. I know we did this last week. We're going to do a review and make things a little bit harder every time, so we're building on those foundations. Last week our touch was just right in front. Yes. Maybe you're adding that word too when they're doing it more forcefully and with intention, so we'll add that touch. Yes. And then we treat. What we're going to do this time is we're going to add a bit of movement to that touch. So I'm going to move my hand around. You guys may already have been started to do that. Something that I like to do just for kind of fun to give me a focus for my movement is move my dog in a bit of a circle. So to start off with, what I'm going to do is just move a little to the side, a little to the other side, maybe up, maybe down. And then I'm going to add in trying to get them to go around in a full circle. So this is the start of like a spin. So if I'm doing that, when I get to that spin, I may have to get halfway and reward, halfway again, or a quarter of the way and reward, a quarter of the way and then reward. So I'll show you what that looks like. To start off with, if you guys haven't been doing this or you're sort of new to adding in movement, I would start with this. I would start with just adding a little bit. So I'm just getting her moving her head. Yes. And then this side. Yes. And then up. Yes. So she's just moving her head around. So getting her just moving her head around like that. And then to get that spin.
Yeah.
Touch. Lido.
I'm gonna go here. Yes.
Lido. Touch.
Yes.
Touch. Yo.
Touch. Good.
Touch.
Yes.
Touch.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yo. Touch.
Does that kind of make sense? So to have a little go. I can see everyone's already started just getting them moving a little bit. Oh, nice shake, Lito.
Go. Yeah.
Good job.
Be here. It's okay. Just
Hi everyone.
Oh, hi. She's like, oh, down. Great.
now look at her.
I am
She's
so sorry.
Really start now.
Okay, good. Come here. Come. Down.
Basically we are teaching her touch, but like after some time.
So yeah, adding some movement to that touch. Yes, good job, Maui.
Yeah, touch.
Yes.
Touch.
Good boy.
Yeah, good girl.
Yes.
Touch. Yes.
Oh, bless you.
Touch.
For dogs that like to jump, it can be a nice one to sort of give them sort of an outlet for that jumping next to us kind of thing. Good boy, Maui. Move to seat too.
Yeah.
Oh, Nito, he's like, what do you want? Yeah, good job.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
It's funny trying to get into touch for movement.
Yes.
Good job.
Come.
Come
Touch.
here.
Yes.
Often we ask them to be still so often when we're asking them to move around with us, it's tricky.
Touch.
If your pup's having a hard time moving to your hand, but make it easy again, bring it a little bit closer. So start close, even if we start off with just that head movement and then we get the body movement in afterwards once we get the hang of it. And then also being super exciting. So Dipsy's not a huge fan of touch. That was unusual for her. So normally you'll see me sort of dancing around going, touch, 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 looking like a right fool on the street. Touch, yes.
Yes.
Just to be kind of exciting with it.
Come on. Touch.
Is everybody? Yeah, there you go, Maui.
Touch.
Come here.
Yes.
Yeah. Come on. touch. Yeah. Touch. Yeah. Touch.
Yes.
Yes.
Good job. Perfect.
Come on.
वहाँ जाके बैठी थी सबसे.
Touch.
Good boy.
Yes.
Yes, good job, Cinnamon. All right, we'll do maybe one more of those. Oh, itches.
Yes, good boy.
And I would do a quick find it with Lito and with everybody, in fact.
Find it.
Find it.
Super quick find it break.
Good.
Um,
Find it.
Often if we are training, I don't know if I said this last week, but often if we are training our puppies and sort of in the middle of everything, if they're doing really well, they're doing the touch, everything's going well,
Yeah.
and then suddenly they do start to sort of scratch or look away or go for a drink, often that's them just getting a little bit sort of tired and like, I'm not really sure what you want, so I'm going to try and take the pressure off a little bit and just have a bit of a scratch, like I don't quite know what you want there. So if we ever see that, I would finish that one exercise that you've asked for and then have a little break and then bring them back in again. It's what we call a displacement behavior. When we see that kind of thing happening, it's them just wanting a little bit of a break. So we'll do a quick find it, and then we're going to work on a stand, which is that other position to put them into, so that we can get that practice of that down on its own, down from a stand, sit from a stand, down from a stand to a different movements, different movement positions. The other nice thing about a stand, or the useful thing about a stand, is for grooming or for the vet, asking them to, or even putting on a harness or something else, asking them to stand up for us is much easier. It's a nice one to have them learn to do. They're having to like manhandle them into position. It's a great one for groomers and stuff like that, getting them used to it. And bath time even, and that kind of thing too. So for a stand, what I would do, and again, I would like you to practice both from a sit and from a down. I'll demo maybe from a sit if I can get her into a sit. But my hand signal is for this one is going to be my hand out on the nose, just moved away, so moved forwards from the nose, so kind of like this. I may have a treat in my signal hand if needed. Often, I think we were talking about this last week, we ask them to sit still or lay down so much that when we ask them to then move away from that position, that can be tricky because they're like, but you like it when I sit and do this. Oh my God, is Lito chasing his tail?
Yeah.
Sorry, I just saw that. And now I completely lost where I was. So yeah, asking them to move from a sit, it can be quite tricky because they're so used to being like, but I thought you wanted me to do this, so ask them to move. The other thing, when we're going to add that marker, the moment that those back legs straighten and they stand up, you want to get that marker in just like before they have chance to take that step to move, because we're marking the standing and not the moving forward. So that it will look something like this. I'm going to get her into a sit first. Yes. I just want her to stand up. I don't want to take any steps if I can help it. So adding that marker in before she gets there is ideal. Yes. And because we've been practicing our touch, this should be fairly easy for them. So again, here you go, find it. And again, I haven't got a treat in my signal hand, but I'm pretending. So give that a little bit of a go, get them into a sit or a down, and then get them to practice from there.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
The hand signal, what's the hand signal again? Like a flat hand?
Flat hand pulled out in front of his nose a couple of inches.
I feel like that's so similar to touch. Like
It is, and that kind of helps. So with a touch is a little bit different because there's in theory going to be no movement. Our touch is just going to be touch unless we're asking them. I would do like sort of what, karate chop, touch, as opposed to a stand, which is like this.
Yes.
And the reason the stand and the touch work well together is because they are quite similar, because we do want them to just move forward. Yeah, move it. That's
Come here.
Down.
yeah, good job, Lito. That was really hard for him. He's like, but.
Yes.
Yeah, good job.
Please, just Come, come. Just lower her and put this away.
Come.
Yes.
Good job, Maui.
Cinnamon. Yeah.
I gave him his Kong, so he's trying to smell for it.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna
Just
get
point
my
to the
color
map.
in a sec.
Yeah, put it in this
Stand.
Yes.
Stand.
So
No.
it's right when his butt goes up.
Yeah, right when his butt stands up.
Yeah.
Don't do that big.
Yes. Good girl. Okay. Yeah. Cinnamon.
That's
Cinnamon.
Sit,
Hi.
sit. Good, good. Up. Not me.
Oh, actually, why are you? Oh, actually, no. I won't do that.
Come here. Come here. Yeah. Yeah. Sit. Sit. Good, good. Stand. Stand.
You need to do your touch wala side.
Touch. No, touch.
Yes.
Maui, woohoo!
He's still so. He wants to find the Kong.
He's like, I really like my Kong, actually.
Yeah.
Sit. Sit.
So if you've been doing it from a sit for a little bit, try it from a down. See if we can get them into that down, and then do a stand from a down.
Okay. Now we're gonna
इसके
do
नाक से दूर लेके जाओ.
down.
Because again, it's just a slightly different picture.
हाँ.
Good
Good
girl.
job.
Oh, don't forget.
Yeah. Sit.
Yes,
Sit.
good boy. Yes. Yes.
Down. Down.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. Now we're gonna go down again. Okay. Oops.
Now.
धीरे धीरे.
Down. And
Yes. Oh.
here you go.
Yes. Good girl.
You're silly.
Now. Down.
You have to be a little more excited about
Yeah.
these things.
He's like, where's my Kong, Mum?
Oh my goodness, this Kong.
That's it. Wait, just wait Cinnamon out. She's so
Yes.
close. Yes, girl. Good.
Yes.
Good job. And with Maui's down from a stand, what you could almost also try and do is kind of push your hand into his legs a little bit to see if that kind of pushes him back and into that
Yeah.
down.
We also need to teach her to go down, like in the lie positions from the
You
stand.
may need a treat in your. Do you have a
Yeah,
treat?
you need a treat in the head.
Yeah, start with that because it is a whole different kind of movement going from a down from a stand. So that's kind of homework for this week would be to practice sort of mixing up these movements. So we're not always going sit, down, stand. So we're also going to be doing, down, stand, sit, sort of mixing it all up a bit so that they learn the individual commands as well.
Now. Oh yes.
There we go.
Yes. We get a blueberry.
Perfect. So we'll have a little bit of a break now, a little bit more of a play. And what I'm going to do during this play, because we're talking about socialization, and socialization is also to sounds and things. I have Spotify, and some clever person on Spotify has put together a dog socialization playlist with all of your favorite classics, such as Fireworks, Traffic, Crying Baby, Donkey, Doorbell, all of those things. And so I'm just going to put this on in the background while you guys are playing. I will share this too in case you want to practice sort of playing with that noise, these kind of noises going on in the background, so our puppies are learning to ignore those noises and good things are happening and they're playing at the same time. So I'll just run through that playlist as well here. Just a nice way of getting them used to different sounds that maybe they're not so comfortable with. If it's super, that one, yeah, exactly. If you want to mute me and put it on yourself and pick your own hits, that's fine too.
Can I give Maui his Kong now instead?
You could, yeah. That's what he's really into, yeah.
He's too distracted.
That's fine. Right now we have hair clippers. I'm going to put my favorite track on, which is a donkey. Because we often hear donkeys in Toronto, Mississauga. we have a train. There's also there's fireworks in here too, so I'll get that one on. There we go. If you're ever doing this and there's a sound that your dog is uncomfortable with, just turn it down a little bit, keep playing through it. Give them that break. It's not quite the same as the sort of like the vibrations and the pressure in the air from thunderstorms and things, but it's a good way of kind of getting them used to the, you know, any noises in the background are good practice.
Yes, good girl. Come.
With Cinnamon, she's like, she doesn't care.
I'm not surprised.
Now, so we have a construction going on next to our place. So on a daily basis, she hears those sounds. So she's like, now she doesn't.
Oh God, sorry, I'm trying to stop all these sounds here, but they're just going on. Oh God.
She was very tired right now, like during the session. So we're like trying to make her little playtime so that she gets to get that activity.
Yeah, for sure. That's good.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, the construction sounds next door, that'll just help in general, just to get her used to being like, oh, loud noises, whatever, who cares?
What did you just do? Cinnamon?
She jumped on this.
Cinnamon? What are you doing?
Oh.
Come here.
Yeah.
So if you do have a Kong or something, actually, I'll
Yeah.
I'll just let them kind of do their thing and play a little bit, just while I have a little bit of a chat about socialization. We did talk about this a little bit in the very first week, I think it was. Just how socialization is not just how sociable our puppy is to other dogs and people and that kind of thing. It's also don't do that. It's also to different sounds, to different handling, what the groomer might do to them, what the vet might do to them. In your package, I think you got a socialization checklist. I don't know if anyone's had a chance to have a look at that. That kind of gives you some ideas of the things that we want to get them used to sort of feeling and hearing and feeling and seeing and all the rest of it too. Our pups, I think, and again, I'm so sorry if I'm repeating myself, I did this class recently too. Our pups sort of between the ages of 8 to 12 weeks go through what we call a critical socialization period, where their brain is most susceptible to developing those good connections between, you know, novel environments, meaning good things. So the more novel the environment we can give them in a positive way, the better during that time. Things that they have bad experiences with in that time, or experiences that they don't have during that time, can affect them later on down the line. I was walking my friend's 10-year-old Weimaraner on Burlington Front this summer, and you know those big sort of metal things that they tie the boats to? She had never seen one before, and so when she went up to it, she was like, I have no idea what this is, and she was kind of freaked out by it. But she's 10 years old and she's been around the block, and she'd never experienced one before. And in that time too, when you know, when she was most susceptible to picking up on those, to building those good neural networks. Our older dogs tend to make assumptions on things based on past experiences. So if they've not had a past experience, or they've had a bad past experience, they will make an assumption of it not being a good thing. So we want to really, if we can, safely, with pandemic and vaccinations and all the rest of it, get them seeing as many novel things in a positive way as we can in that time. A lot of pups do actually go through a second socialization period between the ages of sort of 6 to 12 months, depending on the breed and the dog and all the rest of it. And so what you might find, I know our pups here are a little bit older, I think. So what you might find is sort of as they hit adolescence and those adolescent hormones start kicking in, that we start to see them go back into a little bit of being worried about things that maybe they'd seen that they were fine with before. They start barking at ghosts that you have no idea what's there, and they may start roaming a little bit more. You may also find that a lot of your training goes off, kind of falls off the back a little bit, just because of those, you know, they're teenagers and they don't want to listen to parents anymore. What I would say with that is just keep muddling on through it. The more you can have those baseline training in. Lito, what are you? Sorry, I'm so distracted by Lito's back legs just dragging and playing.
It's the funniest thing.
That's so ridiculous.
Yeah, it is.
That's so funny. Please continue. That was great to watch. Yeah, so getting them used to all of those sort of sights and sounds, even within the first year. I know a lot of people put a lot of pressure on sort of the up to 16 weeks or up to 12 weeks because of that period. that is a very important period, but realistically, for the first year of their life, we really want to be making sure that experiences that they have are positive ones. And so to that end, for the next sort of little bit, we're just going to practice some of those things. What we would normally do in class is I would set up stations. I think I put in the WhatsApp group for you guys, Artemis, that we would have little stations. We'd have like a grooming station where we'd practice grooming. We have a t-shirt clothing station where we practice putting like t-shirts on. We have a vet station where we practice doing that. Can't obviously emulate that exactly today. So if you do have a t-shirt or do you mind? Or something that you want to practice with your dog, excuse you. In theory, we are going to have an in-person graduation. So if you want to practice putting things on your dog's head so you can get that beautiful graduation photo at the end, that's always a good one to practice. The way I would do it is basically any time I'm introducing something new to my dog, like putting a hat on or putting on even a harness. Like Gypsy's not great with her harness, and even wiping her feet. She's a bit funny with her wiping her feet. What I'm going to do for a lot of them is put her into that stand with a treat, and then as she's in that stand, she can be working on that treat while I'm doing other things to her. So in the case of with her paws, I'm going to wipe her paws, get my towel, and she's already in a stand, so I'm just going to hold the treat so she can work at that treat, and she's busy working at it. And while she's doing that, I'm going to practice wiping her paws. I'm going to grab this paw, good girl, yes, and then give it to her at the end. What you could do as well is sprinkle treats on the ground. So if I sprinkle treats, then I can practice with the back leg, get that lifted up, get that played with. And just so they get used to all those sort of handling experiences are positive ones, and so that they get those treats at the same time. Gypsy doesn't tend to be afraid of things like that, like putting on harnesses and stuff, but her way of telling me she's uncomfortable is that, I don't know if you just saw, she does that kind of biting thing, and I don't want her to do that. That's her telling me she's uncomfortable, so I want to make her more comfortable with that whole situation. And so again, using food is a nice way of doing that. Other things to practice again would be letting her have a treat while I play with it, looking at eyes, looking at ears, all those sorts of things that the vet might do. Even poking a little bit, like as if it's like a vet poking them, and those sort of palpitations and things. The more we can get them used to that being a normal thing and a good thing, the better. So if you guys have anything that you want to practice with, I have a hat that I was going to practice putting on Gypsy. She doesn't particularly like things going over her head, so what I'm going to do, I may just start with just lifting it over her head, and if she doesn't react, she's fine, yes, and I'll treat. And slowly building that up, being able to put that hat on her head. So if you guys have any sort of clothing or, I'm so sorry, Artemis, I had put in the WhatsApp group, but I didn't realize that you guys weren't in the WhatsApp group to have.
So he's gonna try to like sign up or something.
Okay, I can add you into it. If you send me your number in an email, then I can add you to it. Gypsy. So with Gypsy, I'm gonna put the hat on. She doesn't really like it on her head, so I'm just gonna, yes, good girl, and then take it back.
Sit.
Like t-shirts too. I was actually gonna put a t-shirt on her. I just found an old t-shirt I have here too, and we practice putting that on. What I might do is either I could lure her through with a treat in my hand and the t-shirt. So the t-shirt's resting on my arm. I have the treats in my hand here. I can lure her through and then just drop it onto her. If she's super uncomfortable with that and she's backing up, doesn't like the feel of it, I may just put it on, take it off. Put it on, take it off. Just gets used to it not going on all the time, because sometimes clothing can feel a bit weird for them. If she's fine with it, I can just put it all the way on. Just on her back there. Oh, good girl, and then it's fun. And then she does not like putting her feet through. I discovered this. So again, I might use my food just to help her out, make her this is more comfortable.
Sit. Yep.
And anytime my pup tells me that she's not comfortable, I'm just going to take it back a step and make it easier for her again. So if she had moved her head away from those treats, Woohoo! You're wearing my t-shirt. Look at that. Sorry, it's the first time I've done this. It's a bit big, babe. It's a little bit roomy in the bottom there. If your pup ever tells you that they are uncomfortable with something, look at Cinnamon in that t-shirt. She's like, what is this, guys? What have you got here? Anytime your pup tells you they are a little bit uncomfortable with what's going on, I'm not going to force that interaction. If I have their food, they move their head away from their food, they're really not into it, they put the brakes on, and whatever interaction that might be, I'm not going to force it, I'm not going to push through it, but no, it's fine. That's all information. Okay, I'm going to practice. You don't like that? Okay, cool. I'm going to take it back a step. Maybe we'll just do a little rest on the head, or something that I found with Gypsy was she was not a fan. We found a metal bridge, and she did not like the sound or the feel of the metal bridge on her feet. She took 2 steps onto it and was like, no, this is weird. I'm not going there. Thank you very much. And so instead of just kind of pushing her through and saying, no, it's fine, you're good, let's go, and just pushing her through it, what I want to do instead is say, okay, I recognize that you're communicating to me that you're not comfortable, and I'm going to listen to you telling me you're not comfortable, and I'm going to respond to that. So she knows that she knows that she can talk to me and tell me she's not comfortable. And so what I would do in those cases is I played Find It near the bridge. We took a couple of steps before. We took the pressure off that interaction. We moved away from the bridge, played Find It. And then we even just walked away from the bridge and went around it a different way instead. So that next time she came to that bridge, it was more of, she got to the bridge and she thought, well, last time nothing bad happened. I got a few snacks. It was kind of fun. Maybe I'll check it out and go a bit closer and try my feet on that bridge this time. And that's kind of how you want to build them through and kind of help them through those interactions. Oh, miss, look at that Cinnamon with the baseball cap.
Try to put a harness on while trying to feed them.
That's a really good point. Actually,
I need 2 people. I need another person.
Yeah, so what you can do actually with a harness or something where you need 2 hands, either sprinkle treats on the ground. So
yeah, that's right.
if it's like through the head, I would get the head through first like this and then sprinkle treats to do the rest of it. Or you could grab a Kong. I don't have right now. You could grab a Kong and put the Kong, like put a bit of peanut butter, put it between your legs. So then you can be working with them licking on it here. You can be working with them that way.
Oh, that's smart. Okay.
And then also for bath time, I bought this fantastic little device called a Licky Mat. It's got suction cups on the back, so I can put something sticky and tasty on this side, stick it to the back, the side of the bath, and she's there licking away, happy while she's doing it, and I can be bathing her, and she's totally fine with it. You may find that if your pup is not a big fan of bath time, and actually with her, I had to kind of build up. So we practiced even just, I put something sticky on, put her in the bath, and we just got wet and then got dry again before we added the soap. And then, you want to wear the cap too? Look at this. And then we could add then we could build up the amount of time we were in the bath and relaxed and licking on the mat for. Oh, some sunglasses. Yes, good. And if he's backing away, I would, just work at that stage even for a minute. Lick, on your head, off your head, on your head, off your head. Just practicing even that, like going close, going away, going close, going away. So he's getting used to the idea that it's kind of fun, it's okay. And this is a really nice way for us getting those like fun pictures and stuff too. Yeah, good boy. Don't eat the hat. I like my hat. Don't eat my hat.
Cinnamon. Hello. Cinnamon.
Good job. So when you've done one and you've got your clothes off or on your dog, we'll do another little play, and I'll play a couple more sounds from our lovely playlist. And then if you have your place, we'll do a little bit of a on your place exercise at the end there to kind of end. So I'll put on some classics.
Okay.
Leaving your face.
Okay.
Come.
Get it. Mommy, go get it.
Cinnamon. Come here. You want it?
She wore that.
Take it out. Till the time the treats are in the hand.
Yeah, come.
Come, sit.
You don't even care if that's coming on the You don't even care. What is going on with you? What is he doing with you? Yes, good girl.
Good girl. Take it out.
Good girl.
Good girl. Yes. Good girl.
Good girl.
Now
Yes.
Perfect. So I think Mary's went out for a pee break.
Excuse you.
So I just got the bells for him to alert us when he has to go outside. Do I just use my hand again to kind of get him to start touching the bell?
Yeah, I would. So say if this was the bell, what you could do is have the bell in your hand and then do a touch with the bell on your hand.
Yeah, okay. That's what I've been trying to do.
Yeah, I would do that to get him used. If he's not going near it because of the bell, if you can sort of have the bell kind of at the end
Behind it? Yeah, okay.
side, and then bring the bell up closer slowly kind of thing. That's kind of where I would go. How I would go.
Yeah. Yeah, he was kind of freaked out first, but now it's fine. But
What you could even do, if he's a little bit worried about it at first, what you could even do is just ring it yourself for the first week whenever you go out, and then start encouraging him to touch it.
okay.
You're gonna get used to the sound not being a big deal, and then start asking him to ring it to go out, kind of thing. So
Okay.
that should help.
I have a question about the from last week. It says attention reinforcer and name reinforcer. I didn't.
Yeah, I probably didn't touch on that because that's sort of a newer thing. So it's basically for us to teach our puppies their own name. And also what we often find ourselves doing a lot at home and the rest is using our puppy's name a lot and overusing it. And then that becomes white noise, and we don't want it to be that white noise. And so that's why we have what we call an attention reinforcer. It's basically a sound that you make that also gets their attention without having to say their name. So it could be a kissy sound. My default is a click, so I click my tongue. So it could be and then treat. So basically to sort of get that. It's similar to the same way that you would charge up your clicker or your marker word, whereas your marker word comes after the behavior. Your attention-seeking noise or your redirect sound is going to come before the reward because you're going to reward for it. So she's just wandered off for a second, but what I would do is basically click your tongue or make that whatever that reinforcer sound that you want to be. She's back. So I would basically make that sound, give the treat. Make that sound, give the treat. So that sound is a precursor to a treat coming. And that way I have that to fall back on, so I'm not constantly gypsy, 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 gypsy when she's not listening to me. I can see her name once and I can make that sound. In the same way, I also do want to get her used to her name too. So I would also want to say her name. When she looks at me, reward. Say her name. When she looks at me, reward. So they're just getting used to those, getting used to their name. So it's not a white noise Charlie Brown name in the background. So I might just do a.
No, it's for her, is it?
Yeah, the kissy sounds a great one too. I'm actually running out of snacks here, so. And then with her.
Yeah, this is okay. Come here. Yeah.
Let's just basically practicing that so that we're getting used to them having different sounds. That's it to there.
Cinnamon. Yes.
So when she was young,
yeah,
what we used to do was we used to roam around the entire house and say, "Cinnamon, where are you? Cinnamon, where are you?" And she used to follow us.
Oh,
that's a marker for her. So when we go down for a walk, if she's behaving and she's pulling us, we just say, "Cinnamon, where are you?" She'll come back to us and sit next to us.
Oh, good. So yeah, that's exactly the kind of idea. That's exactly It's just getting them used to those, to something else. It's not just, overusing their name, because we do. I use Gypsy's name all the time, and it shows, because sometimes I say it and she's like, no. Okay. What was that?
Teach her to sit.
What are you barking at?
Okay.
You little monkey.
No, not like that.
Lie.
Yeah, lie directly from the start.
Okay. Come here.
That's what we need to teach her.
Come here. Come here.
Usually she sits first and then go to lie. We need to teach her
No,
from
but
the
she's
start.
a little stressed right now.
Not right now, but
Right.
I'm saying.
Perfect. Just the homework for this but will kind of make sense too. I haven't looked at it recently, but have you guys had a chance to have a look at the sheet for this week, or I think I emailed you the full package, or did you get it yourselves?
You gave us booklets.
You have it. Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
We were trying to get that booklet together, and some people got half of it, and then the full of it. Some people got all of it. Some people got an email to them. So I just want to, everyone's got that package that they can kind of work through as well. Perfect.
I did.
All right, so that is officially the end of class. I was going to do a quick on your place exercise. So what I would do, but maybe you guys can do this sort of either off camera or kind of or at home kind of thing. What I would start to do with that on your place is maybe add in a little bit of a distraction too. So how are we going with it on your place? Is it if we are able to have them go onto it and lay down on their own, now I would maybe start to add in a little bit of distraction, maybe just sort of move my body, take my weight back a little bit, get them used to sort of staying on that spot when they stay. Excuse you, can you not eat my books? That would be lovely. I'm just gonna grab some more snacks and show you kind of what I mean.
Yes, good girl. Come. Yes, good girl. Yes, good girl. Yes, good girl. Come. Yeah. Go.
So what I'm going to do is maybe just start to add in a bit of movement. So I'm going to move my foot backwards. Yes. Reward. Half a step. Yes. And if moving a full body or a full step is too much, even just a side step or a little leg movement, just something like this. As long as she's staying still, I'm going to mark a reward. Yes. Yes.
Okay.
They're used to relaxing no matter what's going on around. This is also going to be the start of a really nice stay. Once I have this in place and she's able to sort of maintain that position with me doing a few things, then I'm going to start adding in that stay when I know it's going to be followed through with.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just a little stay.
Yeah.
Yes, good boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, move back. Yes. Good girl.
Yes. Good girl.
Yeah.
Stay.
Good. Oh, that was just too much. If they do end up getting up when we start to do that, I would just encourage them to go back onto their place and then reward them for that, and then say all done, release them, and then restart the exercise or go off and do something else instead.
All done.
And then that's all information. So maybe if we took 2 steps and that was too hard for them, maybe we take 1.5 steps or half a step.
You're good. Good. That's it.
Good.
No.
The other thing I've just thought about for practicing for this week, and I'm not sure if it's in the homework, is would be to practice doing all the things that we've already done, but with different positions of our own body. So I know that I normally stand to train. So doing all this now with me on my knees, it's a different picture for her. So doing those sits and those downs from my knees, I have to go back to luring her from when I'm sitting. It's a whole different picture now. It looks different, even in different rooms of your house too. So if you're always training in the kitchen sit means sit in the kitchen, but does it mean sit everywhere else? Well, I need to encourage her to learn that it still means the same. So something that you guys could practice is sitting on the couch itself and doing those sit, those down, the stand, kneeling, sitting cross-legged, standing. Try a whole different variation and just see how your pup reacts. You might find that you need to take it back a couple of steps when you are practicing in different environments and different body. Sorry, love, find it. different body positions kind of thing. So I would definitely practice that so that we're learning to generalize that those commands or those cues mean the same thing no matter where we are, what we're doing, what my body's doing. The ultimate end goal that would be the pro level would be to have my back turned to my dog and then say my command and have them do it, which is very far down the line, and we're not there yet because most of the time we're face on with our dog, teaching them that way. So getting them used to generalizing that sit down, stand, whatever means the same thing no matter where we are. So something else to think about for this week too.
Yep. Yeah. What I do is I usually, so when I'm working, I do this with her. So if we are sitting on the couch and that's not actually training time or we're not training, what I do is I simply take a treat out and I train her. I put it on my laptop. I say, okay, you need to stay. So yeah, she usually responds well.
Perfect. Yeah, the more of that you can do, the better. The more practice of different places and environments, and out on your walks. If you're out on your walk and you can practice there too, it's going to be really helpful. You may need something more tasty than just kibble on a walk because it's distracting outside. But yeah, practice everywhere. It's good. Would be my advice.
Yeah, sometimes like over the walk when she kind of, try to lead ahead, I kind of, throw a treat next to my feet and say, find it. So she comes back and, she sits at that place.
That's good. That's good. Yeah, perfect. And we'll do some walking exercises that are not too far off that one actually. In hopefully we'll be back in time for that one because that one's fun to do in class. But we'll see where we are with that one.
Yeah.
Really want that.
Next week's classes, we're going to be talking about kind of resource guarding and leave it and off. That's going to be our sort of focus for the week. So if you guys, I would bring a few higher value treats to your living room, wherever, so we can practice with that too. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, let's go.
Cinnamon says she's done, so I think that's
Yeah, she's very tired today. She had a rough day yesterday.
busy morning. All right, everybody. I'll see you all next week. Thank you again for hanging out with us
Thank
again.
you so much. Bye.
Thank you.
Have a good weekend.
You too. Bye.
Bye.